gold. You know how we do it, baby. Come on, let's go. This is the voices of the black and gold. You know how we do it, baby. Come on, let's go. This is the voices of the black and gold. You know how we do it, baby. Come on, let's go. This is the voices of the black and gold. You know how we do it, baby. Come on, let's go. This is the voices of the black and gold. You know how we do it, baby. Come on, let's go. This is the voices of the black and gold. You know how we do it, baby. Come on, let's go.
What is up, and welcome to another episode of the Voices of the Black and Gold, your go-to podcast for all things LAFC. And LAFC just sent a message to the MLS, 6-0 against Orlando. Hey, Orlando isn't good, but LAFC is the only team still that has not been beaten in MLS. The only team still with a clean slate with the defense. We got a lot to break down, a lot to cover. As I said, in a dominating 6-0 victory against Orlando City at BMO Stadium, LAFC explodes for a five goal in the first half, which was absolutely crazy by Denis Bouanga. He had a hat trick within the first 8 minutes, which was just unheard of. Sonny gets 4 assists. I want to call it 5. We're going to call it 4.5. I feel like he got a little gypped out of that one, but you know what? It is what it is. He still was a part of that goal. So I'm giving him 4.5 there. He's now tied for 4 goals, top of assists with Messi. Big deal there. Man, do we have a lot to cover. And the reason that this is such a big deal, guys, is because LAFC did this, got their confidence rolling after this break right before a huge CCC game against Cruz Azul come tomorrow. So, Andrew, Tony, the right time, the right place, right time. The boys we needed to see some type of energy from Denis Bouanga, a little bit of fire from Sonny, and we got both of them, Andrew.
Yeah, I think we bullied that team from beginning to end. Like it was an ass whooping. You almost feel bad like about it, but it's a game. But they were completely outmatched on defense, and they didn't have an answer for it. And it was beautiful to see us score that many goals from Bouanga. Our stars were on fire. Our subs were on fire, which I'm going to spend a lot of time gushing about but, on top of it. But it was just a great game. Like all phases of the game worked, I think.
Tony.
Yeah, it was a great game. I mean, a 5-star performance in the first half. And just like Andrew mentioned, like the subs came in at the right time. I think MDS heard all of us saying like, "Hey, we're up by 5. Or let's get Bouanga, let's get Son out." Bouanga already has his hat trick. Son already had 4.5 assists. Let's give it 4.5, whatever, because technically that own goal was brought to you by Son. So I mean, it was a great performance. Gives us a huge confidence boost. We needed that rest from the international break. Cruz Azul didn't have the best weekend for them. Good for us, but now they're going to come in motivated into our home, and we got to be ready for it.
As I said, LAFC remains the only unbeaten team in MLS at 5-0-1 for 16 points, while extending a club record 10 games unbeaten streak across all competition, 8-0-2. Even more impressive, the defense has now recorded 6 straight clean sheets to start the MLS season, and that all has to do with Hugo. Hugo was absolutely incredible. So we had the guys up front firing. We had the defense holding it down. The midfield was still doing their job. We're missing Eustaquio for sure, but boy, oh boy, was the team firing on all cylinders. And it made me, as I said at the beginning of this, it made me feel like, okay, here's the confidence that we have said the last few games that we need Sonny. We want to see that confidence from Sonny. We got it with the 4 assists. We need Denis to start scoring. We got it with the hat trick within 8 minutes. And then on top of that, your defense holding it down back there and Hugo having big save after big save, Andrew. I mean, this was almost like a complete performance from the team at the perfect moment going into tomorrow's match.
Yeah, I think it was rotated perfectly. I think Martinez came on at the right time. I think we're saving
6 minutes or something like that. It was perfect, dude.
It was perfect. We're gonna need like his aggressive mentality come tomorrow. I love how the team looked. I do got to give credit to Hollingshead out there. It really just kind of opened the game up, showing a wing back out there that could competently run alongside everybody out there. It's what I feel truly opened things up. I'm not saying there was a lot to mask from our team in that game. We were great, but like that I feel is truly like what opened everything up for us. And the rotation just worked out perfectly, I think.
Tony.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew's pretty much speaking for what we're all thinking here today. Yeah, I mean, the subs came in at the perfect time. It was great to see Shaffleberg finally get his first minutes under LAFC. Beautiful assist to Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd getting his first goal with black and gold as well. Also good to see BOBG back. And then in that midfield, I think, I mean, if there was a one odd one that probably stuck out, I think we could all probably agree was probably Marky Delgado, who did lack some passes. There were some screaming that I saw from Porteris and from Palencia on him. But overall, everyone I feel played to their fullest. It kind of sucked not seeing Eddie motherfucking Segura on the field, but I guess that experiment is over. But to Andrew's point, yeah, Hollingshead was that piece that we needed right there on as an outside back to help out Denis Bouanga.
Oh, Shaffleberg, we're going to have to talk about. I mean, I was so impressed with this guy, Tony. I'm glad you brought it up, but we have him in to talk about tonight. For me, he was incredible. Mark talked about it a bit in his presser about how he plays different when he's on the right to the left. He likes to pass more when he's on one side than he does on the other. And I found that to be interesting because, as Andrew said, the subs came in at the perfect time. But Mark also talked about that. He told Denis and Son, because truthfully, guys, last week we said, or the following week we said, we really didn't want Sonny to play this game. We wanted him to sit out because he was going to be on international duties. He was going to come back. We wanted him to really be rested. Him and Denis both was like, nope, I want to play. And Mark said, no more than 60 minutes. No matter where we are, no matter if we're winning or losing, you're out at the 60-minute mark. At that point, we were already up 5-0. We got our 6th goal. He said, 56 minutes, you're done. And he stuck to it. And the reason I thought this was funny is because when Bouanga was coming off, you seen him looking up there. And he goes, oh, man, you took us out a little earlier than you said because it wasn't at the full 60-minute. But you've already done everything you need. We need you now rested for this next game. And that's another thing that I thought was really cool about the interview. And I'll start with you, Tony, because Andrew's answering everything perfect. Is that Mark said, he goes, oh, I was thinking about that other game. Like you know how all the other coaches are like, it's one game at a time. Mark said, no. I was thinking about that other game. So I wanted to make sure these guys understood no matter what, you are coming out at the 60th minute. And he pulled him at 56 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, our previous coach, whose name I won't say no more so we don't get cursed no more, he would take one game at a time. He wouldn't think about that next game following or whatever. But seeing as Mark's doing his homework, he sees where Orlando's at. He sees that they're a team that's struggling. He can see that our B team is better than their A team, even with the announcement of them getting Griezmann. I mean, so Mark's doing his homework. He says, like, hey, the B team could beat these guys. Let's play some of the starters, get their feet wet a little bit, take them out, and then get ready for that Cruz Azul match. Because I feel, and I think everyone could agree, this is the most depth that we've ever had in an LAFC roster that can carry us to Champions glory.
Champions glory, Andrew, and everybody's giving you shots out because you did say that you wanted to see this guy play. You've said it numerous times. And again, if it's the B team or whatever, he came in and he shined. He literally made you say, as we have with Boudry and other, I want this guy to get way more minutes. And that is what we've seen. Beautiful crosses. I think one of you said it in the chat. What if we had those crosses when we had Giroud?
Yeah.
You know?
Shout out Olivier.
You weren't the problem, buddy. But yeah, with Shaffleberg, I didn't expect to see him play as many minutes as he did. But we don't really see the training. I was excited to see it, and even the announcers talked about it. Like, even if it's for a sub right now, that guy coming in on the left side after Denis Bouanga runs you dry. Like it completely pours gasoline on a fire if we're just pressing a defense the entire game. And then even if eventually, Son and Bouanga come out and to succeed to another formation, you got an Ordaz in there. You have a boy in those central roles to take that kind of those services. Shaffleberg had one on the ground too. That was just a pinpoint cross, and Ordaz hit it good. It went to the keeper, and that was another. It was a great thing. And I know we were talking about in the chat how good those crosses have looked and how long it's been. And I don't think I've seen a player come in like that and have that kind of crossing accuracy for us. Not like a player that's come in and just dominate. Like we've had good players come in and shoot and do that, but to have that kind of crosser, I everyone was probably giving the exact same reaction when you saw it. It was just like, oh my God, it was beautiful. And if he wants to shoot more on the right, when we're going to have that counterattack and how Sonny and Bouanga were in sync, imagine if that guy's sprinting down the right side of the field wanting to take a shot. There's no way that you're going to be able to defend all three of them and pick out how that would be. It's lethal, and it's everything you would have hoped to have seen out about Shaffleberg. I talked really positively about him, and I'm glad he came through. But it was as good as you could have hoped for in the minutes he had played. Everyone looked great.
Bro, you honestly have took the words out of my mouth. Andrew is absolutely on it today.
I told you.
I got it from here, guys. I got it from here.
I swear to God, I don't send them any of the questions, right? It's supposed to be just me firing off at them. But my next thing was going to be, imagine having him on the pitch with Denis and Sonny at the same time. And especially when Sonny are doing these passes that he was doing. I mean, listen, one of those assists that he gave to Bouanga was so freaking beautiful. It was the easiest little feather through and just right at his foot for Bouanga to boom in the back of the net. It was absolutely fantastic. But if you have as you just said, a Shaffleberg on the side where he can now hit over too, or even give one of them little buttery ones to Sonny, maybe even a longer one, then Sonny does a little dip off to Bouanga, just boom, boom in. I mean, look, I'm all for it, dude. It's something I would love to see, Tony. Do you think we will see it? Is he putting the pressure on the Martinez to not get that start, or the boy, because Boy looked good also.
I think it's putting the pressure on Mark, and not just his teammates, because now you have, of course, you're going to start Bouanga, you're going to start Sonny. Now it's that third spot on that right hand side. Is you have Martinez, who's been killing it, Boy, who's starting to break through already, Boudry, who we still want to see more of, and then we still have Abowasi, who's still coming back from injury, and now Shaffleberg. But we kind of had an idea of what Shaffleberg was going to bring, being a national team player. It's so, and if I'm not mistaken, with the Canadian national team, he is a starter as well. So we knew the type of caliber we were getting already. Now imagine having that three-headed monster coming at you, and then they tire you out or whatever, or we want to just play it safe. And then next thing you know, you got to deal with Ordaz and Boudry and Martinez. After that, like, bro, like I said, the most depth that we've ever had. John Thornton has literally gifted Marco Santos an amazing team. And if we do not win any silverware this year, heads will roll.
I mean, listen, it is a gift. It really is. And this is what's crazy. No one really felt that way at the beginning of the season. And then you start seeing what's really happening and you're like, okay, with this is the gift that keeps giving. And you know, it's a good problem to have, Andrew, that Mark has all these choices, but then God forbid one person doesn't do well, then you're like, yo, why didn't you play this guy? So it is a double-edged sword for that man to say, I've got to put the right guys in on the field at the right time, no matter what. And I got to pull a guy when I'm seeing just the littlest inkling of, yo, he's not clicking today. I need to put in the next man up almost. Andrew.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's been pretty much proven with the defense. When we do play the wingbacks, you don't need to tinker with that. I think we're very lucky with the depth, as Tony said, as deep as we've been up front. And then when our midfield's completely healthy, like it's just nasty. So I love the rotation. I think we're going to need a more physical team probably against Cruz Azul at home. It's why I didn't mind seeing Martinez. I would have hoped Boudry would have gotten some minutes in this last game, but he didn't. I would like to think, you know, someone like him who's big, who's quick, who's feisty in that midfield, that we would see somebody like him. But I think Dos Santos is finding his confidence within this team a little bit more and more. I think, you know, he's tinkering less and less with it. I think we're starting to find really what works. So I think we're in a good spot for tomorrow.
Okay, so let me just come down a little bit because I'm really high, right? I'm feeling very good, but let's also be a little bit realistic. Is Orlando is one of the worst teams in the league, but maybe that doesn't matter, right? Because maybe this was more of a confidence boost for the guys to say, hey, we can link in better together. This is how we can do it. So here's my question to you guys, right? While things weren't going according to plan, most people were complaining and saying that Bouanga and Son were too close, that they were playing in each other's spaces, that they were sort of crowding each other. And then they have this great game against Orlando, and I've seen a lot of people on X saying, oh, it's because now they're closer and they're able to link up better together. So what is it? Was it that they weren't playing close enough together, or is it that the system that they had around them for this particular game, or is it that Orlando is just that bad, Tony?
I think it's a mixture of everything. I mean, but overall, I think Orlando's just that bad.
Okay.
I've seen them on previous results that they've had just weren't good enough against even their Eastern Conference teams. Um, but regarding Sonny and Bouanga just interlapping, I think it was just more of a confidence thing within probably the group of guys that, and maybe exhaustion. I mean, we started playing before our season even began, playing in Honduras. So, I mean, tired legs, everything could fall into place. I mean, there's so many things that we can make excuses for, but overall, I feel like it's just that Orlando is just that bad. And I mean, nothing against Maxime Crepeau. He's always been a legend. For me, this is known as the Maxime jersey. That's why I'm wearing it. Because poor guy, like the final whistle, that dude took off. He went straight to the tunnel, and I was just like, man, I miss that guy.
Do you after that game? It was sad, bro. I was like, man, because it couldn't have happened to as you were saying, a better guy for us because he gave so much to LAFC. Like we can never forget what he gave to LAFC, right? He literally broke himself for us to win and succeed. But oh my gosh, dude, it was like we broke that game. Go ahead, Andrew.
To defend Max a little bit, like there was nothing that defense could do to stop what
No.
we were. There wasn't a single fucking thing that like anybody. And like by the third goal, just the look on Max's face, like you felt bad. You're like, oh my god, buddy. Like I felt bad for him. I will always love Max, and but I do think Orlando is a terrible team. It's funny that like Griezmann probably won't save them for the playoffs this year. The way that they're playing, like they're like Montreal level. I don't mean Montreal to catch a stray there for that, but
poor Montreal.
They just aren't a good team, but it was a great team for us to really see what
right?
Yeah, get what we're made of. I don't think anybody would have predicted it would have been 6-0 or Bouanga would have had a hat trick in 8 minutes, and Son and we didn't get a shout out earlier, but I'll give the respect for our dog Palencia scoring a goal.
Oh. Well, we are all synced up. I swear to God, it was not planned, bro. It was not planned.
So yeah, shout out to him, like getting that goal. Like everything Son did looked great, but it was a good warm up. It'll be a good warm up for tomorrow. I also think like how they had 3 center backs and back, like there was nothing they were going to do to stop anybody that we had on the field. Like it was pretty bad in that sense. So not all Max's fault.
When I watched this game, at the beginning of the season, I went on record and said that I ended last season saying I honestly believe that Denis Bouanga and Sonny are the best duo in MLS. We haven't seen much of it, but this last game, I literally was saying this is everything, and people were like, "Yo, Nick, wait a second, though. It is against Orlando." It's about the way that they looked up. I talked about that pass a minute ago, that he just feathered through that, and Denis got one of the most beautiful goals. And I believe that confidence is everything. Finding that rhythm again with one another and the spacing that you do need to have, and whichever it is, if it's, because again, as I said, it was a mixed bag. It was like some people were saying, but when they weren't playing well, it was too close. When other people were saying that now they're close enough and they're able. So I was really confused. But for me, what I seen is that them linked back up. Them as a team have, if it's what Tony just said about tired legs, now they're starting to finally find their form again, but from them they look like they have fun, and for me it was the right time to be having fun, because Cruz Azul is going to be a hard game. They're one of the best teams in Liga MX right now, and they're going to come to win. As Tony said, 5 minutes ago, they lost their last game. So now they're coming to play because they have something to fight for. But our guys now have that confidence to say, hey, hold on. If we could put 6, which should have been 7 if Ordaz hit that in the back of the goal, could have been 7-0, then we can go in here and we can walk away with the win. And I just felt like the whole team oozed, we are better than what we have been showing these last few games. And so I want to believe everything that Tony said about tired legs, about starting the season earlier, fast out the gate with so many games. And now we are back into our groove. You know what I mean? How we ended last season almost, if you will, Tony.
Not just that. I mean, to add to what I said also is the first few games, and we were pretty calling it out. We were playing more like Sunny FC, where a lot of the players were just trying to force feed Sunny to score a goal. Where I feel like now it's kind of like, okay, just take a step back, bro. Like Sunny, like your goal is gonna come when it's gonna come. And I know he tried this weekend and it didn't come. And I even kind of predicted that he'd score, but hey, 4 assists is still not bad. 4.5 assists.
4.5.
4.5 assists is not bad. So I think him just taking a step back and saying, okay, my time will come. Let me feed everybody else. Because like I said before, a great midfielder will make a forward look better than what they really are. I mean, not taking anything against Bouanga, but maybe another forward. And like he brings out that good in Nathan Ordaz. He brings it out of Davi Martinez. So if like Sonny's knowing that role, he's gonna maybe play that 10. We with the three of us were talking before the game, we were messaging, and I said, you asked, well, what do you think about the formation about Ordaz and Sonny? I said they're gonna overlap
Yep.
just like they did, and I think
Yep.
that's perfect. Where Sonny could come back, distract as a forward every now and then as a false nine, and then come back and play that 10, play
I
that
love
midfield, play that playmaker role, make everyone else look better, and hey, let's all win. At the end of the day, it's LAFC, not Sunny FC.
I mean, I loved it. I loved how they were able to do that. It sort of resembled a little bit of how Vela and Rossi back in the day would switch sides whenever they wanted. How Ordaz and Son could do that. Andrew, Tony, that's a great point there.
Yeah, I absolutely loved what I saw. I to see that like idea that Tony was talking about them kind of overlapping and playing with each other in there. I absolutely loved it. I think the times that Son came back, actually to this point with Son and Bouanga, we're saying they were playing closer together. They were able to make those little passes. There were some pretty good length passes between them. They weren't playing really side by side. A couple of those like real good chances, that Sonny put that, from the midfield out there for Bouanga to chase and put him into space. So,
Right.
I think they were linking up from all parts of the field. Side note, imagine when Sonny can kick it to either side when Shaffleberg's out there and open up space on either side. But to see what Sonny like did to go back into that 10 and like that creative role, like it's what's working, it's what's flourishing in there, and it's good to see him happy in doing it. Like that, those assists were beautiful. Even the half one, full one that we'll count as a full assist on this show. They were gorgeous.
Yeah. No, I want to say the full, but I'm with you, Andrew. I thought this was a good take right here. It felt like in college football when you schedule a cupcake before you play an SEC game. Orlando was the Fort Wayne State before LSU Cruz. Which, for me as an SEC fan, I completely understand what he's saying right there. Look, SEC, that's my league, bro. So, I get what you're saying. When us big dogs come, we got to eat. But no, it's very true. And look, I get it. Orlando is bad. Regardless if you put up almost 7 goals against any team, that's the confidence that you want, especially when you're going into a big game that we have tomorrow, right? Like this game tomorrow is a big deal for LAFC. Thank God it's starting at BMO Stadium before it then goes to Mexico. But like this is what you want. And, the 32-52 are going to be loud tomorrow. They were loud that day. They were behind them. Now that we have something to celebrate, all these shows are being positive. We're not questioning what's going on with the front three. We're not questioning what's going on with the midfield because we feel satisfied. We've seen things that make us excited. And I think that's what you want when you go into this type of game come tomorrow. You know what I mean? Let's talk a little bit about this defense, though, guys, because we've been talking all about the front three. But this defense, again, as I said, another shutout, another clean sheet. They are absolutely incredible this year. Porches is great. Palencia is the bulldog. He gets a goal, but Porches and Tafari for me are the standout guys. But Hugo is the main character when it's from the defense for me. Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, Hugo, I think we've touched on it for a couple of weeks now. Like, he's playing some of the best football of his career. Like, he didn't look anything like this his last couple of years at Tottenham. Like, he's in the group. He is the captain. He is delegating. He is holding teammates accountable for what is and isn't happening. Like he is the driving force back there. I think Porteous and Tafari has been the best case scenario for us. As much as it will jokingly like talk about how I'm a big Tafari guy, but they look good together. He doesn't look confused. That everyone knows what exactly what they're doing, where they're supposed to be. I think they're a great duo right now. Palencia, Bulldog. I will give him that. And I know but the majority of us want to see Smolikov in there more than Hollingshead. But I will take anybody on that wing that can actually play that position. So I think for tomorrow, I think our defense needs to be the focal point. I think keeping a clean sheet tomorrow is going to be the most important thing. I think it's if we leave with a draw and they don't score any goals going into Mexico, that would be where I'd feel the most comfortable. I don't want to go goal for goal with this team here in LA. So I think our defense is ready for it. I think our defense is proven against Miami, against the worst of the teams, like on Saturday. I think that this will be a big test for him, but Hugo's playing some of the best ball he's played in recent time, and our center back duo is good of one in the league right now. That's how I feel.
Tony, how wrong was I last year? I mean, I want you to answer the same question, but to Andrew's point, I was so hard on Tafari last year. I even said at the end, I'm done with Tafari. Get him off this club. And he is, I mean, he won man of the match the first 2 games. Has absolutely been a rock back there. And I think I agree 100% with Andrew. Without him, without Porteous, without Palencia, without Hugo, this team is looking completely different. They have literally been the rock for the defense and holding this team down and letting us play up front like we need to. But when we get deep down, they hold the line, and we aren't having teams score. And a lot of that is with Hugo, but a lot of the work that those boys do on the defensive line has been outstanding this year.
In Kosi Tafari, I, just like Nick and many other people, apologize for all the bad things we said about you last season. This guy has been playing at an all-star level this year alongside with Porteris. Like, I was the biggest critic. I wanted him gone. I was like, no, this dude sucks. Like, he's just not it. He needs to go. But he has been a rock. He's been killing it right there along for Porteris. Hugo Lloris has been that leader, that general. The soldiers right in for the 4 soldiers in front of him. He's in command of all of them. He's telling them where to go, what to do. And his first, I feel like his right hand right now is Brian Porteris, who's kind of like that dog on the field where Hugo can't go up, then Porter's is the one that's going up, and he has Safari to back him up. And Safari, he's playing the most simple, beautiful soccer that can be played. It's just make that tackle, get the ball out, head the ball out, get it out. It's just simple defending that I feel many defenders don't do. And now it's just that left side that we're all like, okay, we had the Eddie motherfucking Segura experiment. We put Hollingshead back in, who knows how to play it. I saw Dad right now. He said that Hollingshead looked a little bit rusty, and he did. We all do want to see Smolikov, but for whatever reason, it's Mark isn't putting him. I'm okay with it. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Let's if Palencia, Porteris, and Safari can kill it as the 3 in the back, and maybe put another midfielder there to push up, or just play it safe with Hollingshead. I'm okay with that. So, but Hugo Lloris and Nkosi Safari, Ryan Porteris, those 3, they need to be all stars this year.
Small's called Piston MDS's Cheerios. He's in the doghouse. I mean, I will say I wanted to see Smalls golf at the beginning of the year. I don't know where he fits. I actually thought Hollingshead, and I am sort of I guess in a way disagreeing with a lot of people in the chat right now. I thought Hollingshead actually played pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, he might have looked a little rusty, but I thought he looked pretty good. Eddie motherfucking Segura. I mean, I'm with Tony on it. I don't know if he's the 100% fit. And I thought it was crazy because MDS talked a little bit about that in the presser too, of how he brings something different. Like he's really hardcore defensive based, but sometimes they need something a little bit more, especially going up higher. And I think that's where Hollingshead is better there. I thought Smallskov could do a little bit of both personally. So I don't know what I'm missing. So maybe Dad is right on that. Small's called piss in the MDS's Cheerios. But I don't know, man. I don't understand how Tafari was so bad last year with a coach that was so defensively based, but yet this year he is so freaking good. Maybe it's just here. You go do your job and get your job done, and I just back up and let you do your thing. But it is night and day from last year to this year, Andrew.
He's playing with confidence. It is what it is. Is what I feel. I see. Even last year, he would be a little chaotic in his challenges or not knowing where to be, and like he knows what he's doing every second on the field, and like it's a calm confidence in those hectic scenarios, and it's made all the difference. Whether it's the coaching directly or being comfortable in the system that JT wants for another year with it. I think it's great. And as far as Eddie motherfucking Segura, all I gotta say is, did Dos Santos prove that he can be a serviceable left back? He did, but why? But why? Okay, the point's been proven, but okay, I do feel Hollingshead did have a good game. I know some people are dogging him on that. I do believe he opened up some things. I think he masked the fact that we had Delgado and Tillman as our starting center or midfield. I don't think we could really point out one remarkable thing that was done by that. And I think because having somebody serviceable on both sides of the field that knew how to push up, it eliminated that midfield, kind of Dolo-esque, but not really eliminating the need for that midfield. But the midfield just had to not screw up. In that really wasn't always the case when we had our three center backs plus Palencia there. So I loved what I saw. I think it's what suits the players that we have best here.
Dad says he played high and helped create some of that space for Denis, keeping Denise kept exploring. And I believe that is true. To your point right there, Andrew, is because normally we only have Palencia up high, right? So this time now you have both of them high. So now that person has to wonder, do I go here or do I go there? Well, I don't, you know what I mean? So I think that does help. And that maybe that's the avenue that we need, even, if we have Segura, Eddie motherfucking Segura in there, he needs to try to come up higher, but then he has to get back. That's the thing. Hollingshead gets back. Eddie just doesn't get back as fast as Hollingshead, which is almost weird to say because Hollingshead is so much older than Eddie. You would think that he could get back like Hollingshead does. But Hollingshead puts in a lot of speed, man. I know that he was, a little bit tired and everything, but the dude has some speed, Tony.
I thought they were the same age.
Are they the same age?
Ryan is 34. Let's see. Eddie Segura. Pretty sure they're the same age.
Motherfucking Segura.
It might be why you can't find his age. You're
no, they're like 5 years apart. Never mind.
5 years, right? Hollingshead got you by 5. See?
Yeah. No, I mean, it goes based on position. I mean, you have Ryan playing outside back most of his career, where Eddie was just a center back. Center backs aren't used to making those overlapping runs. So, I mean, that makes sense of why Eddie doesn't go up. So, and that's okay. But if we can get, like I said, Smolikov integrated in there, and we're all calling for him or something to happen right there. I mean, Ryan, like you said, is getting older. He's starting to be our new version of Jordan Harvey. Whereas like his days are probably limited now.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I feel like if
It's
we could get
sorry.
no go
It's a,
you.
it's just wild because we're subbing in Raposo for Palencia, and it's like we're letting Ryan Raposo get no disrespect to Ryan Raposo. I will lead with that, but like, well, we could just as easily get Smolikov in there, shift Hollingshead to the right if it's Palencia that's supposed to be getting some rest. I just don't understand it at this point. To be over a month in and to be playing in regular season and in tournaments and like to not get one of our young DPs the time. It's starting to seem a little weird.
It is. I agree. I
That's
agree.
all.
I would think that we would see more of him, but we're just not. And look, we're winning and we're doing it. So I'm just curious of why. And if it's Cheerios got pissed in, why did they get pissed in? LAFC dad, if you know, I want to know why. Why did they get pissed in, man? What did he do?
Yeah, what do you know that we
What
don't?
did he do? You know. All right, let's talk a little bit. Unless did I miss anything from this game in Orlando that we should have covered?
No.
Griezmann
We
chose the wrong team.
well,
I know he's your guy, Nick. He's your guy.
Sorry.
listen, I wanted him there, but he went ahead Sonny, and I choose Sonny. So it is what it is. He made his choice, so it is. All right, let's talk about Cruz Azul, bro. They're already saying downtown is already being taken over by Cruz Azul, is what the guys were saying a minute ago. Game, right, guys? Like, this is a huge game, huge responsibility for the boys. But thankful it's at BMO Stadium. I know, I'm sure you guys are going to be there, getting to watch the game live, celebrate, be 32-52, chant loud. But how are we feeling about this game tomorrow, Andrew?
I'm feeling good. I feel like how we played on Saturday. I'd like to see Martinez in there in some capacity. I think his aggression will be good for it. I do feel it needs to be Hollingshead or Smolikov, even though we know it won't be Smolikov. So I'll just say I do feel like we need to have Hollingshead out there on the wings. I think against Cruz Azul and looking ahead to Luca as well in this tournament, that there's no way that like Eddie Segura would keep up on the wings against two of the best teams down south. It wouldn't happen. So I think we need to match that speed on defense. I think we need to have some aggressive, bigger people in the midfield. I think the way Boudry plays, if he's fit to go 60 plus, I think this would be a great environment and a great game for him. We know we're going to see Son and Bouanga. I just hope that we'll be able to open it up. I think it's going to be a fast and aggressive game. I would be surprised, to see. I'm not saying I wouldn't be surprised. I'm interested to see what the split is in fans there, because I know what these tickets are going for, and they're getting nabbed up today. So it'll be interesting.
Tony?
The way Andrew, I was already thinking about Toluca. I like it. But damn, writing out Carson like that. I mean, but yeah, you have a good point. Yeah, Toluca's a whole other beast. But I think tomorrow's gonna be probably one of the biggest tests that we've had in
Okay.
this young season, aside from Miami.
Yep.
Cruz Azul is one of the top three, top four teams right now in Liga MX. I know they have a few national team players for the Mexican national team. Eric Lira is one of the top guys to look out for. I think he's the engine in their midfield that needs to be shut down. I think if Marky Tillman, Chonier, I know Eustaquio is not playing, and whoever else is in that midfield, if you shut down Eric Lira, I really feel that that's going to be the focal point that Mark needs to really focusing, shut that guy down, and then everything else just kind of like domino effects where Cruz won't be able to do nothing, and then just it's gonna be a high tempo game where I feel it's gonna go back and forth, not in that regular MLS style where it's kind of like okay, you lose the ball and both teams kind of just go back into their formation. Like no, it's gonna be hey, fast break, fast break, fast break. Um, it's gonna be intense, and I really think it's gonna be physical. There's gonna be early fouls early on. I saw someone comment right now about Omar Campos going at Palencia. Palencia's a dog, homie. Omar Campos could do whatever he wants, but that dog Valencia, like he got it. He got it. But yeah, I mean it's gonna be a good game. I mean, I know like Andrew said, those prices are really high up there. I mean, they're a very popular team, not the most popular team, but they are a popular team. So the fans, I really want to say it's probably gonna be like a even 50-50, maybe even a 55-45 LAFC with the advantage.
And this is coming from, someone that went and scouted for Mark
I
not too long ago.
scouted,
I mean, he
yeah.
was a scout out there doing the work, and he came here and gave his analyst right here on VOBG. So thank you for that, Tony. I know that you're deep into this. You got that work out there. So I just want to make sure we put that out there, okay? But no, I thought that was a good breakdown of it, guys, because Andrew, you said something that really made me. I wanted to go back to the Orlando game real quick because you're talking about Martinez and his attitude. I love that last little foul that he took and sort of looked at dude and was, sort of chatting off a little bit. We're going to see a lot of that in this game is what I expect, right? It's always a dog fight when we play a Liga MX team. That's when you really start feeling it. I like these types of games. They're exciting. I hope that we get to see a lot of smoke and flares going because that's always fun during the tifo times and stuff, or when the team scores and the banter that's going back and forth. I hope Tony is right. I hope it's more of a 45-55 LAFC type thing, because I want it to be packed. And not that I want it to be that close of thing, but I like to have the rivalry going. And that's the energy that you want in the stadium. You know what I'm saying? But the boys have to be dogs. They have to. And that's why the defensive, Andrew, you hit on this earlier. That's why the defense is going to be so important. When you have a Palencia, dog inning, when you have the Porges, when you have the Hugos that are being the general like Giorgio Chiellini used to, pointing it out, telling them where they need to go, and whomever it is, and I hope it is Hollingshead, but if it's Eddie motherfucking Segura, you've got to be a dog. You have to be. Because the boys up front can only do what they have to do, but you've got to hold that fucking line. And that is what we're going to expect, bro. Like, that's really what we're going to be looking for. And it's going to be a fight. It is going to be one that's so exciting, and I am looking forward to it. We talked a little bit about the lineups. Do y'all see much changing? Because, I know who we want to see certain players. But who do you see for the front three? Is Martinez getting the start for you, Andrew?
I would like to see that. I would think he's more accustomed to it, but I mean Boyd has been playing great, so I could see the debate for that. But the way the minutes that Martinez played after coming off the international break, it would make a lot of sense. He in those times when Bouanga and Son weren't scoring was putting them in the net for us. So he was doing great for us in those other times. I think he deserves the right to start, but Shaffleberg's got him on watch for when he's healthy.
Tony, I mean, good point, right? Boyd has done really good. Maybe Boyd runs him down. Martinez comes in. We sort of stay with that, and then Shaffleberg comes in. And when Martinez comes in, I mean, who do you have for the starting front three?
Well, first, I don't think Boyd plays at all. I mean, we did see him leave injured after scoring the goal.
Oh,
He did get subbed out. He did have a limp on him,
that's a good.
so That's only been 48 hours, so I highly, unless it was a minor knock that he felt right there,
See,
he
the
might not
scout.
play.
This is what happens when you have a scout on your show. This is what
Yeah.
happens, Andrew. You
I,
You
know.
guys missed the little details, man. Yeah.
Okay, so
I really think it's gonna be Martinez. Martinez has been known to play that, to act childish and to bring out, like, to piss off the opposition, and
get
he
under
does
their
it, get under their skin, exactly. So I feel like this is a game that's made for him. I feel this is it might even be a not a sense for him to go to Cruz Azul, but a tryout for him to compete with now other leagues, and more importantly, the Cruz Azul, like a Liga MX team. Where I was just checking right now on the CONCACAF page of club teams, they're ranked number one. We're ranked number four as an overall in CONCACAF. So it's gonna be one of probably it's probably gonna be the best game in the quarterfinals that probably doesn't have a favorite to win. I do think we're me personally unbiasedly, I think we're the slight favorite to win. Uh I mean, going prediction wise already, I feel like a 2-0 win is good for us. And that's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay, and so who is your starting midfield, Tony? And then I'll go to Andrew next.
Schwanier for sure with Timothy Tillman, and I would like to say I want to say Boudry, but I feel like it's gonna be Markey. So I'm gonna say Delgado, Tillman, Schwanier.
All right, Andrew.
So I have I have some not great news for Swanya. And he just
Okay.
is not. He's in bad form right now. Like the last few games, everyone's been on his ass. Sonny's been on him. Lloris has been on him. He's made some pretty dumb mistakes, like in defense and in passes. And I don't know if he's in great form right now. And I don't think him and Delgado should be playing. I would love to see Tillman and Boudry in there, Martinez up top. Maybe if we're gonna start Eddie, I don't want to, but if they end up starting Eddie, we're gonna need somebody more attacking in that midfield. Then with somebody that can have the ball. I don't know what more Delgado has to do to get benched by Dos Santos though. Like it's been pretty bad. He is just like he's just off. He's like a speed below everybody, or his passes are a couple feet in front of. He's just not dialed in with, and he hasn't been. It's sad, but like it's something that we've all said before that maybe just some time on the bench to recalibrate could be what fixes it. Like, I still would prefer Schwanier over him, but Schwanier hasn't had the best form right now. But if we start a competent person that can run a left back position right, I think you didn't notice our midfielders the last game. And if our guys are hurt and our guys aren't playing well, I think use them as decoys.
Yeah, for me, I'm with you on the Delgado thing. I don't know what it is. Like and I feel like Delgado is my Tafari from last year. So maybe next year he's going to come and I'm going to be like, yo, so sorry, Delgado. I don't know what we're 10 games in, and I'm just like, yo, I don't have it from him. He's not, for me, he's not a starter in the midfield. He really isn't. And, maybe I need to watch it a little bit better on Schwanier because I haven't quite noticed exactly what you were saying there, Andrew. But now that I'm thinking about it, you are right. I mean, and I seen a minute ago, Schwanier plays too soft. And he does. He plays too soft. It's almost like he's scared to get hit or scared to hit sometimes, which for me, and I know a lot of people, whatever, Timothy Tillman is all out. Like, he will just run into a player and be like, oh, shit. I picked up that foul. You know what I mean? And, like, sometimes it's a bit careless, but, like, Schwanier isn't that guy. So
Yeah.
I would like Boudry, Timothy Tillman, and Schwanier, but, it is what it is.
Palencia.
Oh, there he is. So what is the scores that y'all have predicted? I seen a 3-1 or a minute ago LAFC. Give me some of the predictions in the chat, guys. But give me a prediction for tomorrow's game, Tony.
I want to say 2-0. I'm gonna stick with 2-0. I think one goal in each half. Um, Most likely from Denny, both of them. Just I feel like that's an appropriate scoreline for how both teams are playing right now, and then hopefully in that return, it's good enough for that return leg. But I mean, we need to try to get as many as possible. But I'm gonna go 2-0.
2-0. I like that 2-0. It's another clean sheet for LAFC. That would be huge, huge for the club going into the next part of the CCC game. Andrew, where you at?
I had kind of touched on it a little earlier, how I felt like defense would be the most important part of this game at home for us. I would like to see a 1-0 win. I think that clean sheet means more than anything going down to Mexico to play them. I think 1-0 puts us in a solid position. I just don't want us to get into a goal for goal game while we're the home team. Like our house is a fortress. Our defense has been playing great. Hugo's playing some of the best ball in recent time. I would like to see 1-0 and get out of there and get to Mexico and finish it out, and then worry about Toluca.
What about
Yeah.
Carson?
Oh my God, you had to do that, didn't you?
We did miss April Fool's Day last week.
Shout out
We
Carson.
did. We did.
Shout out
Veiny
Carson.
Veiny in.
No, but
Kuntz in. Let Kuntz cook.
I believe that I believe that I'm seeing a lot of 2-0s, 2-1, and so it seems like Tony, you hit that right on the nail, that nail on the head, and again, I think a shutout in this game is bigger than whatever the score is, right? So I could say 3-0, 3-1, but if we get a shutout, that's great, because going into the next match, that means so much more, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, away goals do matter. You know what I mean? So them not getting a goal puts that much pressure on the next game for them to have to score that many more, right? So that for me, that's the key. And so I see where you're going with that, Andrew, about the defense is the most important part. Yeah, of course, I would like for it to be a 3-4-0. Hell, a 4-1 would be fantastic. But to get a shutout is the most important thing. So if it's 1-0, 2-0, I really don't care. I just want the boys to win, and I want that shutout that Andrew and Tony are talking about. Like, I really do. Like, that's the most important part for me in this particular game. You know what I mean? But I'm excited for it. The energy of this game is going to be the factor. And can the boys show up in the biggest games, right? Like that's something that we talk about a lot. LAFC don't show up in big games, this and that. This is the game that they got to show up, Tony.
Yeah, and like I said, a 2-0 win would help us out. Just because I mean the return leg in Puebla, because Cruz Azul doesn't have a home stadium, they're just renting left and right in Liga MX, but that's another topic for them. But yeah, if we get that 2-0 win and then that return leg, that gives us a huge confidence boost, because if we could score one over there while having a shutout here, it pretty much wraps it up for us, for them, for Cruz Azul, because now they're obligated to score 4 goals, because even if the aggregate is 3-3 and we're up 2-0 and then one out there, we still go on away goals. So I mean, the tomorrow's game is possibly gonna be a preview of what the final would be, and I'm hoping that we get to the final and we are hosting it. I know that 3252 will be loud. I'm hoping Andrew's gonna be loud and barking from section 134, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I know there's like right now it's okay. Tomorrow you're just gonna feel that calm before the storm.
Andrew?
For tomorrow, sorry, what was the question here?
Just the energy and
Right.
how big of a game this really is for the boys
Yeah.
moving forward in the CCC.
We've showed up to the big game so far that this year. I think we showed up for Miami. I think we showed up in Costa Rica when it mattered. I do believe we'll show up. Dos Santos has these guys ready to play, and he typically has been until proven otherwise. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it to get out there. I know 3252 will be rocking, and me 3252 adjacent on the corner there. We'll definitely keep it going. I think Cruz Azul's going to be loud and active. I think it's going to be as fun of a Tuesday as we might have this year, unless we play Toluca on a Tuesday or maybe Carson. But I think this is going to set the tone for us, exactly like Tony said, going into Mexico for it. So like we need to let the guys know, show them that we always still support them, and like show Cruz Azul what LAFC is all about in games that matter. We have a little bit of history, with Tigres and Leon and Club America. This is, I think, our time to really show this team what we're about, and I think they're a beatable team. I think Toluca will be our hardest challenge, but the guys need to show up and be ready for it. But that stadium will be ready for it.
And history shows that we've beaten them before in an empty stadium, coincidentally in Orlando during COVID. So we have a little bit of bragging rights right now with us.
Yep, absolutely. Listen, man, this has been a fun episode today, guys. You guys could have been anywhere that you wanted to be this hour. You spent it with us. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button for us if you haven't already. It really helps us out to get the algorithm right. If you're in here, please hit that thumbs up for us. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. But at the end of the day, regardless of it, we appreciate you spending this hour with us here at the VOBG. Looking forward to tomorrow. Let's get that clean sheet. And yeah, man, we just appreciate you guys being here with us. And really have enjoyed this episode today. LA is still black and gold. Guys, anything before we get out of here? Y'all want to say anything?
No. We're good. Let's rock it tomorrow.
Prediction for Saturday against Portland.
I don't know. We didn't even get to cover that.
I give it a draw. I give it a draw,
matter.
a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw?
Yeah.
Hey, but listen, 2-2
with
draw.
a solid goal. With a solid goal, but bubble wrap what our starting 11 is going to be in Mexico, and play the rest. Play some LAFC too, people. We'll still beat them like we did Orlando. Portland's reeling right now. They're not even on my radar.
And if we get a draw, that's still 1 point to help us win the MLS, which doesn't even matter because we have to focus on this anyway. So, I mean, not that I want to draw, but I'm not gonna be shitting on the club if they do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no.
It's still gonna be okay. But guys, thank y'all so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I hope y'all have a great rest of your night. And LA still black and gold, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.